Hey folks, so a lot of you have asked me, what is your opinion on Donald Trump and what is it as a third party candidate that you expect to accomplish if you were to make it to Washington if as with Donald Trump as your president? And it's a good question, and it's one that I don't think enough candidates are actually addressing right now. At the end of the day, it's Donald Trump's signature that gets bills passed. And when you look at, how things go in the Senate, Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump have been working very closely to make sure that Donald Trump's agenda and Mitch McConnell's agenda are one and the same, or at least very similar. And the same thing can be said from the House in terms of Paul Ryan, though Paul Ryan tried to get some more conservative policies passed and was a little unsuccessful. The point is, Donald Trump is somebody who wants to have or be perceived as a good president. He didn't want to run as president to be the most hated man in America. That wasn't his goal. Ultimately, Donald Trump wants the public opinion about him to be a positive one. And that's why he has, from the beginning, for the most part, been a populist president. Now, being a populist president doesn't mean you get a political win for every policy decision you make. You can be a populist president on the right and a populist president on the left. He happens to skew right a little bit, and because he has some left policies and left ideas. But the point of the matter is, with somebody like that who is concerned about their public image and wants to, leave a legacy that other people look at as a positive one behind, that is somebody who you can work with. That is somebody who's most likely open to suggestion and looking for somebody to bring them ideas that would be popular with the public. Donald Trump wants wins. He wants as many wins in his pocket as possible. And, as an educator, especially an educator in KCK, I've had as many as 42, 45 students in a room at a time. In a given school year, I'll have 190 kids some years, right? For me to be a successful teacher in an inner city classroom full of 12 and 13-year-olds, I have to be really good at establishing and creating relationships, working relationships with my students. And if I can't do that as an individual, then, the 42 kids that are in a classroom with one adult, that becomes a chaotic situation very quickly. So one of the skills that makes me such a good educator is my ability to get along with people, to, bring people with me ideologically a lot of times. And that's essentially the main skill as an educator. Build a relationship and then bring students along your thought processes so that they can discover new facts or realities about the world. Well, that's precisely what the political game is all about, and that's precisely the skills needed at this point in time to make sure that a successful Donald Trump is a successful Donald Trump with policies that the American public supports versus a successful Donald Trump with policies that the American public generally doesn't support. So for me, looking at going into this situation, I'm not looking to play partisan politics. I'm not looking to be assassinating the characters of those people around me and firing volleys off for my own, political line. I'm looking to go into Congress to, fix our trade situation, which has suddenly blown up with these tariffs. I think Donald Trump might actually be open to removing those tariffs. I don't think this is the outcome he was expecting from them. Ending the drug war, or at least the federal drug war, and allowing states to handle it, and winning back our constitutional freedoms, the freedoms that have been ripped from us, with NSA spying and everything else. I think all of those things are easy political wins, things that the general public supports, and that Donald Trump could be brought around to, supporting legislation to take care of those issues. So, for me, Donald Trump says some dumb stuff. It's par for the course. At this point in time, I'm done being outraged with his Twitter account. It doesn't move us forward. What does move us forward is building relationships, and we don't do that by continuing the same rhetoric that we've spent the last year and a half doling out in his direction. So I want Donald Trump to be successful, but that success is predicated upon what policies are being passed, and like I said, I think he's open to some changes. So with that, I hope I answer your question, and I want to remind everybody, this is a grassroots campaign. I'm not accepting any donations larger than $100 from any one individual. I'm accepting no political action committee money, and really honestly, as most of you probably know, I'm not out there seeking donations actively. I'm trying to change the narrative for this campaign and trying to, at least on my end, do something about, campaign finance issues and the millions of dollars raised for every election. So every like and share that you can give me, every comment, so on and so forth. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of those things help out the metrics, make my campaign as visible as possible. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later.